Good day, everyone. Today, I'm going to present to you our research entitled Organizational Climate, Leadership Behavior, Work Life Balance, and Employer Retention of Healthcare Instructors, a Structural Model. I am Francisco J. Sedillo Jr., a student candidate of Doctor in Management, major in Advanced Healthcare Administration from Liceo de Cagayan University. Together with me is my advisor, Dr. Ninita I. Prado. To our panel of adjudicators, organizing committee, friends, and viewers. Once again, good day, everyone. Retaining skilled and dedicated healthcare instructors remains a critical challenge due to factors such as heavy workloads, inadequate benefits, and a lack of work life balance. Research shows that these challenges affect not only job satisfaction but also career longevity, according to Cox and others 2020. Recognizing the personal challenges faced by healthcare faculty, such as heavy workloads, insufficient benefits, and a lack of work life balance, is critical to understanding the complexities that influence the retention in these specialized fields. Moreover, fostering a supportive work environment, managing resources effectively, and maintaining a transparent organizational structure are vital factors in addressing the retention challenges faced by healthcare institutions in a competitive sector, according to Salajeghi and others 2022. Despite the extensive research on employee retention, there is a notable gap in understanding the unique retention challenges faced by healthcare faculty, particularly those related to work life balance. While previous studies often address specific aspects of retention, there is a lack of holistic models that encompass the various factors influencing healthcare faculty retention comprehensively. So, this study aimed to address this research gap by examining the interconnected roles of organizational climate, leadership behavior, work life balance, and employee retention among healthcare instructors in Davao Region, Philippines. Our study draws on several theoretical models, including systems theory by Ludwig von Bertalanffy in 1951, which examines the interdependence of organizational components and the expectancy of Virums in 1982, which focuses on motivation, the Blake and Motton's 1964 behavioral leadership theory, which emphasizes the task relationship oriented leadership styles, the interrole conflict by Greenhouse and Butel 1985, and the Adams equity theory in 1963 also provide insights into balancing professional and personal responsibilities and maintaining fairness in organizational practices, and together these theories form the foundation for our structural model. In this schematic presentation, this highlights how organizational climate, leadership behavior, and work life balance influence employee retention, and each contributing to an environment that supports engagement and loyalty. Therefore, the independent variables, organizational climate, leadership behavior, and work life balance, are assumed to have a direct relationship with the dependent variable, which is the employee retention. So, this model suggests that the organizational climate, leadership behavior, and work life balance each have a direct impact on employee retention. This study utilized a descriptive correlation and causal comparative research designs, which describe and interpret data and characteristics about the population being studied. And in this study, this examined the interrelationship of organizational climate, leadership behavior, work-life balance, and employee retention among healthcare instructors. This was used to develop and employ mathematical models and or theories and hypotheses pertaining to phenomena, and the investigation aimed to come up with a fit model of employee retention as represented by the healthcare faculty in Davao Region, Philippines. So the sample size was determined using the rouseoff.com calculator and using the stratified random sampling where the margin of error is 5% and the confidence level is at 95%. So a total of 295 out of 1,264 healthcare instructors were part of this study, and data were collected using validated scales for organizational climate, leadership behavior, work life balance, and employee retention. And it passed by the esteemed panels, validated by the four experts, and the questionnaire were pilot tested with 30 participants, and the pilot data were thoroughly analyzed and using the SPSS for reliability. So these are the results of the internal consistency for the reliability test, where uh, organizational climate yielded 0.807, the leadership behavior yielded 0.909. For the work-life balance, it's 0.805, and the employee retention is 0.808. So it is more than the internal consistency of 0.70. So the statistical techniques or statistical analysis used were mean and standard deviation for descriptive statistics. Along with that, we utilize person product moment correlation to assess relationships, and the stepwise multiple linear regression and structural equation modeling were employed to identify predictors of retention and evaluate the best fit structural model that will ensure a robust analysis for this study. So in this standard regression analysis of weights and beta coefficients for the organizational climate, leadership behavior, and work-life balance and employer retention, these regression weights were estimated to measure the effects between measured and latent variables, where the model proposed the organizational climate was a strong predictor of employer retention, which has beta of 2.13 and a p-value of 0.002. Moreover, the exogenous variable leadership behavior also revealed a significant influence on employer retention by 1.30 and a significant p-value of 0.019. The variable work-life balance does not significantly influence employer retention directly, as shown in the p-value of 0.470, higher than 0.05. So an increase in the level of organizational climate is an increase in employee retention by 2.133, holding leadership behavior and work-life balance remain constant. Moreover, an increase in leadership behavior is an increase in employee retention by 1.295, holding organizational climate and work-life balance remain constant. Now, on the summary of goodness of fit measures of the five generated models for employer retention, this the model 5 that demonstrates the best fit among all models with the chi-square and degrees of freedom reduced to 1.922, finally falling within the acceptable range of less than 2.0. The p-value of 0.110 exceeds the critical value of greater than 0.05, indicating that the model fits well. All fit indices, the norm fit index, which is 0.959, the Tucker-Lewis index at 0.966, the comparative fit index, which is 0.956, and the goodness of fit index is 0.961, that exceeded the threshold of greater than 0.95, signifying excellent model fit. The root mean square of error approximation value of 0.048 is also below of 0.05, confirming a good fit. So this model 5 is the most suitable model for explaining employer retention among healthcare instructors, as all fit indices fall within acceptable ranges. As the structural models progress from Model 1 to 5, there is a marked improvement in fit, with Model 5 exhibiting the best overall performance based on all indices, and the fit indices in Model 5, such as the Norm Fit Index, the Tucker-Lewis Index, the Comparative Fit Index, the Goodness of Fit Index, and the Root Mean Square of error approximation meet the desired standards, making the most reliable model for understanding the relationship between the organizational climate, leadership behavior, work-life balance, and employer retention among healthcare instructors. So this shows the structural model now, the standardized solution of organizational climate, leadership behavior, and work-life balance and employees' retentions. That results indicated that working conditions, satisfaction, and interpersonal relationships are significant indicators under organizational climate. Moreover, tasks, relations, and change oriented have significant influence on leadership behavior. The indicators work interference with personal life interference with work, and personal life enhancement have significant influence on the latent variable work-life balance. So the latent endogenous variable, employee retention, is significantly influenced by the following indicators: the training development, rewards and recognition, remuneration, welfare benefits, and performance appraisal and career growth. So based on our findings, we recommend that our school administrators foster positive climates, the Human Resource Office develop comprehensive retention strategies, and healthcare instructors actively engage in work-life balance initiatives, while professional organizations should provide platforms for collaboration, and future researchers are encouraged to expand this work to other contexts and populations. This is my reference. Thank you for listening. Once again, good morning.